In a hole in the ground lived a hobbit. This hobbit was a very well-to-do hobbit, and her name was Belladonna. Belladonna lived in this neighborhood of the hill for time out of mind, and people considered her a very respectable seamstress, not only because she was skilled at her trade, but also because she never had any adventures or did anything unexpected. This is a story about a hobbit named Belladonna Took, who had an adventure and found herself sewing and doing things altogether unexpected. By some curious chance, one morning long ago in the quiet of the world, when there was less noise and more green, and Belladonna was sitting at her door, a grand letter arrived. If you had heard only a quarter of what such a grand letter would contain, you would be prepared for any sort of remarkable tale. Tales and adventures sprouted up all over the place when such a letter arrived, one with the most extraordinary fashion. In this note was a map, a simple map to any eyes, but to the glance of one such seamstress was the undeniable instructions to the most glamorous destination. Belladonna was to walk the crimson velvet. To get there was to be the most unexpected of unexpected adventures. Before we get much farther into this story, I must point out a few things and bring us back to the present day. In case you might be thinking that I've actually been invited to a red carpet event or something like that, no, I wish. This is simply for creativity's sake, and now without any riddle-y type creative phrasing, I'm going to explain what this video is going to be about. I am making an outfit worthy of the red carpet in Hobbit style. So this is going to be part of my Fiction to Fashion series, and I do hope you enjoy this very much inspired by Hobbit filming, scripting, and locations as we continue on this unexpected sewing adventure. Anyway, this outfit is probably more inspired by Frodo versus Bilbo, but I would say I am very much leaning in Bilbo's unexpected adventure type thing. But for the outfit itself, I'm doing a velvet jumpsuit inspired by like a vest and trousers like the hobbits wear, and then a very gauzy cape, which is definitely based on the capes of the Fellowship. Really, I'm just taking Hobbit style and kind of giving it a fashion boost so that it might be something that you would see on the red carpet. But at the same time, who knows what a hobbit would wear to the red carpet? So really just think of it like red carpet outfit, which got inspired by a hobbit look, if that makes sense. With all that being said, and before we continue going on this unexpected adventure, I do want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. It is so easy to ignore the parts of your life which are preventing your joy of living and pursuing your goals wholeheartedly. This is very relevant in my YouTubing journey, the pressure of putting out content, but also putting myself out there can be really scary and just draining. My channel has been evidence of this the past few months with its lack of videos. But anyway, with BetterHelp, they assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. And you can start communicating within 48 hours. Something else to point out, this isn't a crisis line nor self-help, it's professional therapy done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network, which might not be available locally, and this service is available for clients worldwide. You can log into your account at any time and send a message to your therapist, and you'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions, so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as with traditional therapy. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change therapists if the need arises. It's also more affordable than traditional offline therapy, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you, as do I, to start living a happier life today. Visit betterhelp.com/Bellamay, that's HELP, and join the over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. On top of that, I have a special offer for Bellamy's Designs listeners. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/BellaMay or visit the link in my description. And with all that, let's get back to this unexpected adventure. Before embarking on this adventure, one must have the proper attire, something which will uphold you through the most tiresome of tiresome travels. Years ago, to a great-grandfather Bilbo, a special fabric written by the elves was given. Far off in the distant grey mountains, the delicate hand of elves dyed the soft linen with the sky of their mountain, a mountain of bluish-grey haze. Inscribed on this fabric, as if etched into the very threads, the poem of truth, a poem once passed from grey wizard to hobbit. All that is gold does not glitter. Not all who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes of fire shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king. It must be understood whoever is the wearer of this fine fiber of truth will be upheld in strength and honesty, no matter how alone one such human, hobbit, or elf is. If one knows a little about the fabric of elves, you would know that only the shears provided by such elves will ever pierce its fine threads. Unpacking the trunk, hidden beneath its layers of memories, Belladonna found the parcel of truth. Such a time had come to put it to use. With the sting of elvish shears, the pattern was cut. With each piece stitched together, the bond of truth and strength was embedded into the shirt. golden tree of velvet with the spice gold of turmeric, the sleek plush velvet must be immersed into the refining fire. Over an open flame, as sparks flew to the sky, each fiber of velvet grew forth a vibrant hue of gold and yellow, a hue sure to please the most fair eyes. The lonely mountain was looming in the distance, but before traversing there, some simple seams must be sewn to completion. With a fallen stump as a table and the ground as a seat, the most simple of tasks was done with great vibrance and creativity. Up the lonely mountain of hand sewing, 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 sewing. From out of the shadows came a voice. I have a face of glass and light. You see me, you hear me, but I am not present. You make me stop, you make me go. I am repeated past and present. To your pleasure or your disdain, the luminescent count remains. Solve the riddle you must, and leave words of answer below. As Belladonna emerged from the lonely mountain, she found herself in the land of Mordor, a place of forges of rings. Coming upon such a forge, 4 rings of gold were found there, rings of gold to rule the closure of velvet. With a wit of mind, the riddle was solved, and in doing so, a gift was placed by the river. A gift from Galadriel, woven by her maidens, a gift of fabric of woolen gauze. With pot and powder and water, the green of the river was transfused into the fine fibers of woolen gauze. Moving past the fabric forest, a battle of hems deep was to ravage the soul. Hems were taken, hems were sown, hems were conquered. After traversing for much time, a friendly int was happened upon, and Belladonna found herself in the secure arms of it. There she sewed away at the gauze of wool. With the rich color of the forest river before her eyes, she soon found herself with a cape which needed a clasp. She then found herself in fellow wood, and if fellow wood be known but little, one would know that the most unexpected of fellowships would be found. Out of the shadows she came, a fellow Hobbit who was to join the fellowship of Crimson Velvet and help complete the journey. Leaves of green in pairs of 3, plucked from the bushes till the perfect threesome were found. A clear resin was poured, and the leaves were pressed in a tale of old. The leaves of Lorien, preserved in the resin and turned into a clasp. The final chapter of this most unexpected of unexpected adventures came about with the arrival at the Crimson Velvet.
Over fabric and under iron seam, where thread meets velvet, to sew a dream.